There are moments in history that seem small at first, but those moments decide the fate of entire generations. And this is the story of one such moment that never happened and changed everything that followed. Busha village continues, its peaceful life, waves crashing, wind flowing, time moving the same as always. But hidden inside this peace is something missing from history, something the world was supposed to receive here, but never did. The red-haired pirates sail through the East Blue as usual, free and untouchable. They approach Busha village, but fate takes a different turn, and Shanks never steps onto the island. A single missing meeting quietly removes the beginning of a legend. Monkey D. Luffy still grows up in the same village, strong, loud and reckless. But without inspiration or a dream to follow, his strength has no direction. He becomes powerful, but never becomes someone with a true purpose. The straw hat remains just an object with no promise attached and no memory inside it. It never becomes a symbol of freedom, and it never marks the start of a new era. Ace continues his life on a separate path, growing stronger through hardship and silence. But something important is missing from his journey, a connection that never forms. He becomes powerful but increasingly isolated over time. The world does not change because nothing forces it to. Marines remain in control, pirates remain scattered, and the balance of power stays untouched. No rising force appears to disturb the structure of the world. In another timeline, a boy once declared a dream that shook the seas. But here that moment never exists. No voice challenges the world, and because it is never spoken, the dream never begins to exist. Without that spark, there is no journey, and without the journey, there is no crew. Zoro, Nami, Usopp and Sanji continue separate lives, unaware they were meant to walk the same. Years pass in Busha village, peaceful and unchained. Children grow, elders fade, and the sea continues endlessly. But no one realizes that something extraordinary was supposed to begin here, and in this timeline, it never does. That something extraordinary was supposed to begin here, and in this timeline, it never does. Zoro continues his path alone, chasing strength without a captain to guide his journey. The world around him keeps moving, but his life becomes a cycle of battles and silence. His resolve remains strong, yet without a shared dream or someone to challenge his direction. Every step forward feels heavier than the last, as if he's walking towards something that has no end. Usopp remains inside a village, still trapped in his own stories and imagination. He continues to tell tales of bravery he has never lived, using words to escape the reality he cannot face. But without a turning point in his life, those lies never evolve into courage, and the boy who once dreamed of becoming a brave warrior of the sea never takes his first real step toward becoming one. Nami continues working under Arlong's control, forced to map seas while dreaming of freedom she cannot reach. Her skills improve, but her hope slowly fades. Arlong's rule over Kokoyashi village remains unchallenged, and the villagers continue to live in fear, waiting for a savior who never comes. Even the Marines face no serious threat, allowing their control over the seas to remain stable but unchallenged. The Grand Line stays dangerous and mysterious, but fewer pirates attempt to enter it, and fewer dreams are born to challenge it. Across the world, piracy slowly loses its spark, not because it is defeated, but because no new generation rises to inspire change. Blackbeard moves more freely in the shadows, taking advantage of a world where fewer rising pirates challenge the balance of power. His influence grows quietly but steadily. Ace continues his path, becoming stronger but more isolated. Without key connections influencing his journey, he carries his burden alone. The world begins to feel colder as fewer strong challengers appear to disturb the existing order. Stability remains, but it feels stagnant. Major conflicts still happen in the world, but their outcomes shift without the same turning points that once changed history. Everything feels slightly different but less hopeful. The idea of a new pirate era weakens further as fewer people believe in the possibility of reaching the top of the seas. Dreams become smaller over time. The Revolutionary Army continues its efforts, but without major disruption in the world, their impact remains limited and slow. Monkey D. Dragon continues to watch the world from the shadows, waiting for a spark that never appears in this timeline. Without a strong rising force, the world government tightens its control, maintaining order across the seas more easily than before. Freedom becomes less of a dream and more of a cotton idea as generations grow up without inspiration to challenge authority. The will of D remains hidden in history, with no major force rising to reveal its true meaning or purpose in this timeline. Important bonds that were supposed to shape the future never form, leaving key characters disconnected from one another's destinies. The world slowly settles into long-term control by the world government as resistance becomes weaker and less organized over time. The idea of a new era of freedom fades further, replaced by stability that no longer feels inspiring or alive. Dreams of pirates reaching the top of the world become rare, as fewer people believe such a journey is even possible anymore. The sea remains vast and unexplored, but the spirit of adventure that once drove people forward begins to disappear. The One Piece remains untouched and distant as no one reaches close enough to challenge its existence or uncover its truth. And in the end, the world continues forward, not destroyed, not changed completely, but missing the legend that was meant to define its age. A future that never arrived, a dream that was never spoken, and a story that was never allowed to begin. If you enjoyed this what if story, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more cinematic anime stories like this.